Well, okay, like November 12th and the 13th of 1966 was the first time that he was seen, is what I wrote down. So I, we grabbed some, I grabbed some clips from the actual documentary itself. So we're only going to play a few seconds at a time so that we don't get our asses blocked, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. But
Sound good?
the weird thing about this whole scenario is just the very first Mothman encounter, quote unquote encounter, doesn't have the Mothman in it at all. It's just some loud crash, some noise outside.
Yeah, but it's so super interesting because, and I've noticed this through like eyewitness recounting encounters over the years, however you say it. The visitors or whatever, they tend to either take or do something with animals, like whether it's cows or dogs. I don't know. It's always the animals.
Like set this up. This guy's just like sitting at home and something crashes outside and it takes his dog. His
TV's going crazy too.
Yeah, his TV's going crazy, and then he looks outside and it's something buzzing around, but it's not a plane because this guy was in the Air Force. So he knows what a plane looks like. And then his dog's gone. That's pretty much like what happened. And it's really just weird that Mothman hasn't shown up.
Yeah, he sees these well, you know, I guess we could probably show him what it looks like. I guess this is what their interpretation of it, right?
Is. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can like play their interpretation of what it looks like. Here, let me get it up.
This man is Merle Partridge. Oh, and apparently his TV exploded too. So there's that.
So this is the interpretation they got from his eyewitness account.
Watching a television program when suddenly a loud noise erupts from outside.
Boom.
So it's just a bunch of like, but like little buzzing lights around this red space. Yes, a reenactment.
Right. A reenactment, yeah.
From his eyewitness account.
Yeah, and it's interesting though because, oh man, I'm trying to think because I've never had like I think I had something similar to an alien encounter once, and it was kind of, you know, the little light is definitely a common theme. You know, a little white light followed me down the road and didn't do anything to me. It was just there. So I'm just trying to think like,
because that was really
like creepy to me.
This was a fucking like comet crashing into the ground and then little moths hanging around.
So I'm trying to think like how I would deal with this. Like something crashes outside and my TV explodes. Like, oh no, man. I mean, that'd be kind of cool though, right?
Well, I mean, cool. if like it hit like an electric pole, some shit, like your TV's going to explode.
I don't think it did in this case though. No, I think it was just, yeah. I think it just like landed outside his house and then boom.
Yeah,
you know, the electrical whatever.
The nice thing about this guy is that he was still alive at this documentary to give his testimony.
Yeah, Mr. Merle Partridge. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
We can play like 30 seconds of it.
Can we do that?
I don't know.
Hopefully this doesn't get blocked, you know.
Hopefully.
But if it does, oh well.
No, I'll shout.
First try and all.
Yeah. We'll just play
let's just scream over it.
Yeah.
Okay.
A family pet was a large German Shepherd by the name of Bandit, and as the TV in his living room,
can you guys hear that?
Making a loud noise.
All at once, the TV started winding up.
I hope they can.
Hope they can too.
The old army generator used a hand crank, and I thought, what in the world's going on here?
This is Mr. Merle.
All at once, the whole TV just exploded.
So his TV did blow up, according to him.
But that's what I wrote down.
Yeah,
the TV explodes.
So it's not just on the fritz. It's not just static. Okay, it's pretty quiet. I'll turn it up next time.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, your TV fucking explodes. What are you gonna do? You know?
I mean,
there's something outside.
Get a new one from Amazon. That's just how it works.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, then you just like pay somebody to bring it upstairs for you, right?
Oh yeah. But just the whole thing's just odd. Like, and this guy is
Okay.
this is 60 years later or 50 years later at the time of this documentary, and
I think this documentary was like 2012, so
2012, so 45 years later, and he's still
Right.
recounting this. It's interesting. He's
pretty
still
detailed.
sticking to the same story.
Yeah.
The
Well,
truth.
Right. I was gonna say sticking to the same story. It's pretty much his memory of it. So it's interesting because there are like people who have had encounters from a long time ago that they either forget and then immediately remember, or it's extremely detailed and they remember it for the rest of their life, like this. It's very amazing to me, and I love it. And I don't want to say I want an experience, but I do.
I mean, you heard them,
It'd be
aliens.
so cool.
Indrid wants to experience, yeah.
Yeah.
Abduction.
Come here. Come on. I don't know about abduction, okay?
Yeah, like-
That's actually another interesting subject too, abduction.
Because like an abduction does happen during the Mothman trial.
Right, but with a different guy, we could bring it up then. But
Yeah.
like, there's times where I think people have said they've been physically abducted or mentally, and I think both is possible. We'll get to that though.
Yeah. But essentially, what happens is they take his dog, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, the dog's just gone, and his dog maybe does show up again later.
Yeah.
Maybe nobody's 100% sure.
So this is what he's describing, like these little lights
and
fluttering around,
they're swirling, they're hanging out,
and then
scaring
they
people.
take his dog.
They take his dog.
This is what he says.
Oh.
This is like his account of it.
I was going around.
Yeah.
But there was more of a series of flashes moving than it was. It wasn't aircraft. I spent 3 years in the Air Force. I was around quite a few aircraft. I know it wasn't aircraft. And all at once, it was just gone. And so was the dog.
Oof. Just go.
Grip Bandit. Rest in peace.
Yeah, I know. Poor Bandit. Oh my god, that's so sad.
Taken by the Mothman.
And I was looking at this, wondering like if they asked Merle after, like, they had all the special effects together, like, did it look like this? I'm really curious if this is accurate. I'm so curious.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever, it's a good visual. I know 3 days later after this happens, he walks outside and there's this huge aircraft that he says it just covered the sky. It was dark. It just got dark real quick.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, Cryptid Style Stream, welcome. Hello. Sorry, what?
No, but he describes like essentially a UFO mothership kind of thing hovering above his.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So it's weird. And we went from these like little fluttering lights that may be connected to the Mothman to just flat out UFOs.
So then we move on from Merle.
Yeah. So
you don't really hear much about him.
This is pretty much his contribution. That's it. not really much of Mothman really, but it's just like
it's the beginning.
It's the crash landing essentially.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we don't hear much from Merle, but it's interesting that it just sort of started with like a crash landing, kind of like any alien movie a little bit.
Well, typically like with this, like in an alien movie, there's like a crash landing, but there's like some kind of pod, and the first person that finds it gets eaten or some shit. It's like the Mothman enveloped. Well, Bandit, I guess, is the tribute. He was the sacrifice to feed Mothman into growing.
Involuntary tribute. Yeah, that's terrible.
Bandit was the sacrifice to breathe Mothman.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
So yeah, I guess it is like an alien movie. There was a sacrifice.
A little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit. So it's a little stereotypical, but I can dig it.
Well, yeah.
And I know that. Oh
no, I guess it's stereotypical. Maybe it's cliche, but this was the 60s.
Cliche.
Did they have these cliches yet? Like in movies.
Mm-hmm.
I know they had Twilight Zone, Body Snatchers, all that shit, but was like alien invasion, crash landing a cliche yet? That like
I think so. Maybe.
Okay, so he may be like been watching a little bit too much Twilight, having a little too much whiskey, saw some lightning bugs outside, and then his dog ran away. I guess that's the
It'd be
truth.
a terrible night. No, I don't think so. But okay, that's so bad. Sorry, Merle. I believe you. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was 66. So that, yeah, exactly. They had it definitely was. There was a cliche about this for sure. But you think an old farmer watched it? I don't know. Maybe he did. But I don't think that's what happened. I don't think he just imagined
you say
it.
old farmer, but this guy was like 50 years younger than he is now. Like, he was young then.
Okay. He probably had better things to do than watch Twilight Zone and drink whiskey and stare at bugs. And destroy his TV and lose his dog.
That's insurance fraud that he's like committing. Like, he blames an alien for his TV exploding, but he spilt whiskey on it. You know, it's insurance fraud.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this long con is what that is.
Yeah. He's still trying to get that money 50 years later. That's why he's sticking to the story.
He couldn't get it, so yeah, he did this instead.
He did the documentary to prove it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the truth. This is insurance fraud.
No, I don't believe that. I was just kidding.
You're saying that you're speaking directly to the Mothman, like he's watching right now.
Yeah, because I want him to say hi. It'd be cool. Back then, the area was so remote, he more than likely never even had a TV, let alone even a phone in the area. Well, he did have a TV. We know that.
Yeah.
It was in his own
exploded.
accounting. But, like, cable really wasn't a thing back then either. I was gonna go ahead and move us to November 15th. With the
chase, the Fast and the Furious.
Chase. Yeah, the Fast and the Furious.
It's all about family.
There's theories that aliens are, of course, I believe they're already here. And a lot of people think that they've been here for a really long time, and I think that's definitely extremely possible.
It's very obvious they're already here. Who took Bandit then?
Oh my god. It was the aliens. That's the beginning and the end of it. That's all it is.
It is.
They took
it.
It
all began with Bandit.